Hello, good morning, friends of Sudoku. Today is July 24, 2023. Let's get cracking on the New York Times hard Sudoku puzzle. Let's see, we got 8 and 6 blocking up, 8 and 6 blocking over. Oh, we got a 6 here. I thought we had a 6 and an 8 here. It turns out we only have an 8 here or here. So instead, let's look at the 9 blocking down and the 9 blocking over. Here's a 9. And now we got 9 here or here. We also seem to have 6s blocking down here and blocking up and blocking over. Here's a 6. And we have a 6 blocking up and across and across. We got a 6 here or here now. 3 empty squares, and look at that. 3 digits that need to go here, here, and here. That means that these must be not a 1, 2, 8, but a 4, 3, and a 7. And that means that this must be a 5. We also have a 7 blocking here, a virtual 7 blocking up. One of these is a 7, therefore 7 will have to go in one of these 3 squares in box 3. And 3, speaking of 3s, they must go here or here. Can we do more with 3s? Well, 3 blocks up and down, one of these is a 3. One of these is a 3 blocking up. I'm not quite sure. I'll let it rest for a while and see what happens. 9, by the way, must go up here along with a 7 in 2 of these squares up here. And that leaves only an 8 and a 3. That's a little complicated. I'm sure we can find our way around those restrictions. Well, we got a 1 and a 2 here. So we know that 2 and 1 must be somewhere in those 6 squares. Therefore, a 1 and a 2 must go up here. But we do have this 3 blocking across. So here's a 3, right? So now we know that these squares must be a 1, 2, and a 7. And since these 2 6s block down and we got a couple of 6s blocking across, we can safely enter a 6 here. 1, 2, 7, 4, 5, 8, 9 here. 9. So we got, yes, we know we had a 9 here somewhere. 4, 5. It's a little far-fetched to be able to place those at this time. We do see a 4, 8 blocking across here and a 4, 8 blocking down. So we got 4 8s limited to these 3 squares. While I'm contemplating that, I'm going to enter a 2 here because we got 2 2s blocking these 5 squares and this 2 blocks here as well. So here's a 2. Now we got a 1 8 in these 2 squares. We got a 9 blocking down and up and across. Here's a 9, and that gives me a 9 for one of these squares up here because this square, and this square are all blocked by 9s, see? And this 9 blocks this square. So one of these definitely has got to be a 9. And now it becomes more clear that these 2 squares must be an 8 and a 4 because, as I said earlier, we have an 8 and a 4 blocking these squares. We had an 8 and a 4 blocking these squares. So yes, these have got to be an 8 and a 4. And now that we have that established, and we are looking at this 2 blocking across, we can say that this is a 2. We have a 2 blocking down and another 2 blocking down, and this 2 blocking across, so a 2 must go here. But now we know that an 8 must go in one of these squares, of course, because we got a virtual 8 here. And this must be a 3 for the very simple reason that this 3 blocks here, this 3 blocks here, this 3 blocks here, and this 3 blocks here. So here's a 3. Here now we are looking for an 1, 7, and an 8, and that's not clear yet. And up here we are looking for a 7, 9, 3, and 8. 7, 9 blocking here, this is a 3 or an 8. And we have a 3 here, of course, so an 8 must go here. Now this is a 7, 3, 9. We got 2 3s blocking these 2 squares, so here's a 3. 7, 9, 9 now must go here. These were 1 and 8. Now the 8 puts a 1 in this square and an 8 goes here. 7, 9. 9 blocks over. Here's a 7. Here is a 9. Here we are now looking for a 1 and a 5. And therefore this has got to be a 7. I think that looks correct. A 4 in one of these squares blocks up. This 4 blocks over. One of these must be a 4 now. 4, 7 here. That'll have to wait. 4, 7, 8 here. This is a 4, 8, we know that. And the 8, by the way, blocks here and here. So here's an 8, right? And therefore this is a 4. Now we got a 4, 7 here because we got 4, 7 here and here and here and here. Besides, 4 and 7 are the only 2 digits missing in the row. Therefore, these must be 3, 9, and a 1. But now we still have an 8 here or here because of these 8s blocking, right? But we found the 8 in this square, therefore this cannot be an 8, and therefore this has got to be an 8. Now we got 8 possibles here, 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 and here. And a 1, 4, and a 5 for these squares. And now we can't do anything with that. But remember how I said that one of these is a 9? Because the 9 blocks here, the 9 blocks here, and the 9 blocks here. Now we found this 9 blocking here. So the corner cell goes to the 9. 2 for column 1. Obviously can't go here because of this 2. We got these 2s blocking here and here. We got this 2 blocking here. So this is a 2. These now must be a 1 and a 7. And that gives me therefore a 1 for one of these squares because this 1 blocks here, right? And we need a 1 for the first column. So a 1 and a 7, 4 and a 5. 5, 1, 7. So this is a 4, 5, right? Because 1s and 7s must go here. 3, 8, and 9. I'm looking at these 3, 8, and 9. We got a 9 here, so 3 and 8 must go in these squares. The 8, of course, here or here, but the 3, unfortunately, can go both here and here. So it's not clear yet. A 2, though, we got a 2 blocking across here, and 1, 2 blocking up, so here's a 2. The 4 remaining digits in the first row are going to be a 1, 5, 4, and a 7. No, 4 blocks here, so no, it's all a little unclear. But I believe I may be onto something. Let me look at this square here. For the entire row, we need a 1, 5, 6, 7. We got a 5 and a 6 here, so this is a 1, 7. We also know that this is a 1, 7, and that kind of takes care of the ones for column 2. And we know that these being 4, 7, these must be a 1, 3, 9. Since this cannot be a 1 now, because we have a 1 either here or here, and it also cannot be a 9, it's got to be a 3, and that gives me a 3 here, and a 3 down here, of course, as well. Now we got all the 2s and all the 3s in this puzzle. Here now we are looking for a 1 and a 9. And since we still know that one of these must be a 1, this cannot be a 1, it must be a 9, and this must be a 1. We also know that one of these had to be a 9. Now we know that the 9 must go here, because this 9 blocks down. These were 1s and 7s, right? Now the 1 blocks down, making this a 7, and this a 1, and this a 7. And that gives us a 7 up here, doesn't it? These were 4 and 7. The 7 now makes this a 4, and this a 7. And that gives me a 4 here. And therefore here. Here we're looking for a 1. Oh, the 1 blocks up. So here's a easy 1, and here therefore is a 5. That gives me a 5 here and a 1 here, because we do remember the 1-5 pair here, don't we? This is also a 1, and this is now a 5 and a what? And a 6. This was a 4-5. I remember now that the 4 takes away the 4 candidate. So here's a 5. And here is an 8 and a 4. That will have to wait for a few more seconds. What are we looking for here? We're looking for a 4, for a 5 and an 8. The 8 blocks across. Here's a 5. Here's an 8. Now here's an 8. And now here's a 4. And that gives us this a 4 and this a 7. 7 blocks down and across, and 7 must go here. The last square here has got to be at 5, making this a 5, and this a 6, and this a 6, and this has got to be a 1. So does this. That was a nice puzzle today. A little more complicated, I think, than the last few days. Quite fun, though, and I hope that you found it fun too. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.